There's trouble in Russia. So they called us. And we're going over there and bringing the most lethal killing machine ever devised. One purpose alone. Keep our country safe.
Chief, you find the tanks?
Everything's in German!
Back and get the torpedo! Tank, I need speed!
It's movie night at the WWII Cinema, and tonight pressure builds deeper below the surface, where Crimson Tide turns a nuclear submarine into a pressure cooker, and U-571 drops a desperate World War II crew into enemy waters. But first... Crimson Tide is a submarine thriller that drops you into a world on the verge of World War III. Russian ultranationalist rebels take control of a Russian nuclear missile base. They threaten to launch missiles, which puts the U.S. on high alert and sends the USS Alabama into action. Led by Gene Hackman as Captain Frank Ramsey, he commands like a force of nature, old school, aggressive, and a my way or the highway style.
After a nice little vacation, looks like we're back at it again. I hope you enjoyed the piece, because as of now, we're back in business.
Denzel Washington plays XO Ron Hunter with a calmer, more analytical approach. From the moment Hunter steps aboard the Alabama, the tension is already there. Ramsey sizes him up immediately, and Hunter doesn't back down.
Your name was at the top of the list.
Well, that's good to know, sir.
It was a short list.
Tony Scott directs with his usual flair, making the Alabama claustrophobic, with tight hallways, alarms, and sweaty faces. The submarine atmosphere feels authentic, that makes you feel trapped in there with them. Hans Zimmer pounding score keeps the tension cranked up. Strong supporting players like James Gandolfini, Viggo Mortensen, and George Zundas get their loyalties tested.
What the hell?
I'm sure if Ramsey had his way, he'd rather have the dog as his XO. Where does he... okay. Gross. Back to the review. As the Alabama moves into hostile waters, life aboard becomes non-stop drills and paranoia. It's honestly amazing how much tension this movie gets out of people arguing in cramped rooms. The movie goes to red alert once the submarine receives an emergency message about a possible nuclear launch, and the communications get cut before the full order comes through.
Any crew member who feels he can't handle this situation can leave the ship right now. Gentlemen, we're at DEFCON 3. War is imminent. This is the captain. That is all.
Very inspiring, sir.
That's when the shit starts getting real. Ramsey believes they already have enough information to launch, while Hunter refuses to fire without the complete message, and both genuinely think they're preventing disaster. That disagreement slowly turns into a heavyweight mano-a-mano battle for control of the submarine.
We're all very well aware of what our orders are and what those orders mean. Captain. Mr. Hunter, I've made a decision. I'm captain of this boat. Now shut the fuck up!
Crew members start choosing sides, tensions keep escalating, and the USS Alabama basically becomes a floating civil war, while everyone races to figure out what the unfinished message actually said. Once the conflict starts, the pacing barely lets up. In this pure peak 90s thriller, the danger runs deep.
God help you if you're wrong.
If I'm wrong, then we're at war. God help us all.
Director Tony Scott loved Gene Hackman's Navy hat so much that he wore it regularly after the movie wrap. This also marked the first collaboration between Scott and Denzel Washington, a partnership that would continue with movies like Man on Fire and Unstoppable, amongst others. Denzel has called Scott one of his favorite directors to work with, and you could see that chemistry starting here. Actor Lilo Brancato, who played communications officer Vossler, stopped by with a celebrity shout-out.
Yo, what's going on, Steve? How are you, buddy? Obviously, this is Lilo. Crimson Tide. Okay, so Tony Scott, who's the director, he directed, Beverly Hills Cop, Top Gun, Days of Thunder, Last Boy Scout, Man on Fire. Huge director. This guy, he was in LA, so I wasn't out there. So the way I had to audition was call him on the phone. And I remember literally, I don't know if you remember fax machines, but they faxed me the lines that I needed, and I literally sat on a chair downstairs in my basement, and I was just like, XO, radio, Vossler, sir, she's breathing again, blah, blah, blah. And that's all I did. And I remember him saying, because he's British, he goes, all right, very good. And it was like ambiguous. It could have went like either way. I didn't know what he meant by how he said it. But turned out I got the part, so cool.
The U.S. Navy hated the movie's premise and refused to cooperate with the production, which is pretty surprising after the massive recruiting boost they got from Tony Scott's Top Gun. My enjoyment rating for this pressure cooker of a thriller is an A.
Outstanding, sir!
It's my favorite part. Right here, right now.
U-571 is a submarine thriller set during World War II. When the U.S. Navy learns a damaged German U-boat may be carrying an Enigma machine, the movie immediately drops you into chaos. An American crew aboard the disguised sub S-33 heads deep into enemy waters to steal the machine before the Germans realize what's happening.
On board that U-boat is this. An Enigma code machine. It allows the German Navy to communicate with its submarines in secret. And our inability to decipher their messages is costing us this war.
The practical submarine sets feel claustrophobic as the crew starts scrambling through the flooded compartments. Matthew McConaughey brings real command as Lieutenant Mike Dahlgren, and Harvey Keitel gives Chief Clow a tough veteran presence. The supporting cast makes the crew feel believable, especially Bill Paxton and David Keith.
What the hell?
Is that 80s rock god, John Bon Jovi? He gives subs a bad name. Anyway, back to the review. Once the Americans locate the damaged U-571 and launch the boarding mission, the movie turns into a full-fledged thriller. The action scenes feel dangerous, especially during the damage sequences. The plan falls apart fast once Germans board the sub, forcing Dahlgren and his team to fight to secure the Enigma machine. Things get worse after the S-33 is destroyed. Leaving the surviving Americans stranded aboard the captured U-boat. The pressure keeps climbing with flooding compartments and depth chargers. While the dead silence underwater adds another layer of tension. German destroyers begin hunting the stolen submarine across the Atlantic, as the excellent sound design makes every creak, explosion, and sonar ping hit harder. As Dahlgren struggles to lead the battered crew through injuries and constant attacks, the mission becomes a desperate fight to survive. U-571 proves that heroes are ordinary men who do extraordinary things in extraordinary times. Jonathan Mostow directed U-571 after touring the real World War II submarine, the USS Pampatino, in San Francisco, which helped inspire the movie. I know U-571 caught a lot of heat for playing loose with history, especially from the British government, since the real Enigma victories came from British codebreakers. One former German U-boat commander even joked the only historical accurate thing in the movie was the fact that there actually were U-boats during World War II. The filmmakers admitted that changing the story to American crew was a creative decision to make Hollywood happy. My enjoyment rating for this submerged survival movie is a B-.
What the hell are those yardbirds doing to my boat?
Okay guys, it's only fair if we split the popcorn.
We're here to preserve democracy, not to practice it.
I'd like to wish everybody a safe and happy Memorial Day, and thank you for stopping by. Please consider subscribing, and here's another great double, just in case you missed it. See you next time at the Silver Age Cinema, where one movie is never enough.